In the favelas of Mogi das Cruzes, a boy used to play football with a sock stuffed with newspaper. No boots, no pitch. Just a sock, a street, and a gift so obvious that strangers would stop and stare. His name was Neymar da Silva Santos Jr., and from the moment he touched a football, Brazil decided he was the one, the heir, the next Pelé, the player who would finally bring a sixth World Cup back to the country that invented beautiful football. He almost did. What happened instead is one of the most painful stories in the history of the sport, the rise. At 17, Neymar was already playing for Santos. By 20, the entire country knew his name. The best player in South America, dribbling past defenders like they weren't there. In 2013, Barcelona paid £49 million for him. He joined Messi, and instead of disappearing in Messi's shadow, he thrived, winning the treble in his second season, part of the most devastating attacking trio in football history. Then came the decision that changed everything. In 2017, PSG activated his release clause, €222 million, the most expensive transfer in the history of football, a number that still hasn't been matched. He was going to lead PSG to the Champions League. He was going to step out of Messi's shadow and prove he was the best player on the planet. The injuries. And then his body started breaking. 2018, foot. 2019, ankle. 2020, hamstring. 2021, ankle again. 2023, ACL and meniscus, left knee, torn simultaneously in a World Cup qualifier against Uruguay, stretchered off in tears. In his 6 years at PSG, Neymar played 173 matches out of a possible 295. More than one-third of his time at the club spent in rehabilitation rooms instead of on the pitch. PSG never won the Champions League. They reached the final once, in 2020, and lost. The most expensive player in history spent more time injured than any player at that price should ever be. The return. Nobody believed in Al Hilal paid €90 million for him in 2023. He played 7 matches, then the ACL, then a hamstring, then contract terminated by mutual consent in January 2025, with the club coach saying publicly he could no longer perform at the level we are used to. He went home, back to Santos, the club where it all began. The streets of São Paulo waited. Brazil waited. The last chapter. At the 2026 World Cup, Neymar arrived carrying a calf injury. He didn't play Brazil's first 2 matches. He came on as a substitute in the third against Scotland. Brazil won 3-0. Then Norway, round of 16. Neymar came on. He scored his 9th World Cup goal, surpassing his own record as Brazil's all-time top scorer in the tournament. Brazil lost 2-1. Holland sent them home. And in the tunnel afterwards, Neymar announced his retirement from international football. 79 goals in 128 appearances for Brazil. More than Pelé, more than Ronaldo, more than anyone in Brazilian football history. But no World Cup. What it all meant. The boy with the sock stuffed with newspaper became the most expensive footballer in history. He broke Pelé's scoring record. He won La Liga, League One, Copa del Rey, a Champions League, and an Olympic gold medal. He never won a World Cup. Maybe that's the tragedy. Maybe that's the point. There was no one like him. There never will be again.